Today, we're diving into how anyone can transform their financial destiny. Yes, you heard that right. You can become a millionaire, and it's more achievable than you might think. This summary will teach you how even a small amount like $5 can change your life. First, we will tell you about the Latte Factor. Second, you will be taught to pay yourself before paying others. Third, you will be taught how to make it automatic. If you follow the principles given in this summary, you and your family can dream of a better future, which will soon become a reality. So, do you want to become a millionaire? Do you also want to live a happy and successful life by becoming rich? If you want to know how, definitely listen to this summary till the end. Meeting the Automatic Millionaire. The author of this book, David Bach, was in his mid-20s when he first met his automatic millionaire. It was during a time when David was taking an investment class in a local adult education program. 52-year-old Jim McIntyre, a middle manager at a utility company, was a student in David's class. One day, Jim asked David if he could set up a meeting with him and his wife to discuss their financial situation. Jim was thinking about retiring the next month. He had been working at the same company for 30 years, and his annual income was $40,000. David never thought Jim would be wealthy, but then he remembered the saying he heard from his grandmother, "Never judge a book by its cover." A few days later, Jim and his wife Sue came to David's office. They looked like average, hard-working Americans. Jim wore a short-sleeve polo shirt, while his wife had her hair dyed blonde. She was a beautician and was 2 years younger than Jim. Seeing them, David felt like they were high school sweethearts. They held each other's hands like teenagers and looked very happy and excited. Before David could say anything, Jim started explaining his plan for what he intended to do after retirement. Now that he was retiring early, David wanted to know what made Jim decide this. David said, "Guys, there's no need to go that far. Most of the people I meet aren't even thinking about retiring in their early 50s. Hearing David's words, Jim and Sue looked at each other. Jim said, "So you think we're not rich?" "That's what I want to know. How can you call yourselves rich?" David replied. They then showed David their financial documents. The first thing David noticed was that they had zero debt. McIntyre had never taken any loans. The couple had 2 children who had completed their college education. They owned 2 houses. One they lived in valued at $450,000 and a rental property valued at $325,000. David also found out that they had fully paid off the mortgages on both properties. Jim had $610,000 in his retirement account, while Sue had $72,000 saved in their 401k accounts. They also owned $160,000 in municipal bonds, and together they had $62,500 in cash in their bank savings accounts. David was surprised. Altogether, the McIntyres' net worth was close to $2 million. Indeed, they were wealthy. They earned interest on their investments and received $26,000 annually from their rental house. Now, David understood why Jim wanted to retire early. David was quite impressed. He wanted to know the secret of their wealth planning. "Did you receive any inheritance money?" David asked. Jim replied, "No. We didn't get any property from our parents, but they taught us money management." David said, "You know, every week I meet people like you in my class. From the outside, they appear rich, but most of them are poor. One man drives a brand new Porsche and wears a Rolex watch. Seeing his luxurious lifestyle, David thought he must be quite wealthy. But when he saw his financial statement, it turned out he had an $800,000 loan on his $1 million house and a $75,000 credit card debt. He had leased the Porsche and also had to pay money to his two ex-wives with less than $100,000 in his savings account. Then there are people like Jim and Sue McIntyre who drive a Ford Taurus, and Jim still wears his 18-year-old watch. Both were happy in their married life. Their children were successful too. Overall, their life was stress-free, which is why Jim and Sue were thinking about early retirement. "What's your secret?" David finally asked. The couple said David already knew the secret, and he teaches it every day in his class. The first step is to pay yourself first. That means invest money for your future as soon as you get your salary. A certain percent should go into your 401k and the rest into other investments. The second step is to keep an eye on your Latte Factor. The small expenses you incur daily can add up. So better to save that money and invest it elsewhere. If you spend $5 daily on latte coffee, that's $150 a month and $1,800 a year. You might think you can't save, but if you stop drinking your daily $5 latte, you could save $1,800 a year, which you can easily invest anywhere. The third step is to make it automatic. You don't need willpower or self-discipline for this. The secret is that it's an automatic saving. Arrange it so a fixed amount goes automatically into your investment account every month. Before you have to pay for other things, your investment money has already been deducted. You just need to set up the automatic saving option once. Then from the next month, your money will go into the investment account on its own. Willpower and discipline have always been against human nature. But if you make your saving automatic, your money won't be wasted unnecessarily. This way, you can pay yourself first. Before any tax or bill payment, your salary will already be in your 401k or individual retirement account. You can also invest in stocks, mutual funds, or index funds. It's important that you set this to automatic mode because that's the way to become an automatic millionaire. We'll discuss each step in more detail in the next chapter. The Latte Factor. Most people think that the secret to becoming rich is finding multiple ways to make money quickly. How often have you heard someone say, "If I could make more money, I would be rich"? But ask someone who just got a raise last year whether they were able to save more money. You will probably get a no for an answer. Why? Because the truth is, as our income increases, so do our expenses. However, it shouldn't be this way. No matter what your current earnings are, you can still become an automatic millionaire. Jim McIntyre started with a basic salary too, but Jim says the trick is to pay attention to your small expenses. We often spend money daily on unnecessary things. Every employee lives the same life. They go to work, earn money, spend it, and then repeat. Most employees work 50 hours a week and still end up with no savings. But now, we need to break this cycle to save ourselves from future poverty. For example, David's friend Gary got promotions at his company, and his salary increased from $50,000 to $500,000. But as his income grew, so did his expenses. He started wearing more expensive clothes and bought a better car. He enjoyed dining at expensive restaurants and spent a lot on vacations. In reality, Gary had no savings. Despite his high salary, he experienced financial stress, whereas he was happier when his salary was lower. But why did this happen? It's because Gary had to spend a lot of money to maintain his high-flying lifestyle. He had to pay for his country club membership, his children attended private schools, which required higher fees, and he even hired a nanny for his children. He bought a large house with a loan. Gary was no longer used to a simple lifestyle, and now he was trapped in a competition with nothing left for savings. Now, let's discuss how David created the Latte Factor. Once, a student named Kim attended his investment course. She raised her hand during class and asked, "David, your ideas are good in theory, but they can't be applied in practical life." "What do you mean? How can you say that?" David asked. "I am an employee and live paycheck to paycheck. It's hard enough to cover my expenses. How can I possibly save $5 a day? It's just not possible." Everyone in the class agreed with Kim. So, David gave a demo to explain. He picked up a chalk and went to the blackboard. "Okay, Kim, please tell us about your daily expenses," David said, looking at Kim. Kim said that every day on her way to the office, she buys a double non-fat latte because she can't start her day without it. It costs her $3.50. Kim also buys a non-fat muffin with her coffee, which costs $1.50. So, her total daily expense is $5. Then, at 10 a.m., when Kim and her colleague take a break, they go to the juice stall. Kim buys her favorite juice for $3.95, and she also asks for a juice boost with ginkgo biloba dose added to her juice, which costs her an extra 50 cents. Then Kim buys a power bar for $1.75. Kim continued, and David kept writing on the blackboard. So Kim spent a total of $11.20 every day, even before lunchtime. That was her Latte Factor. If Kim controlled her small expenses, she could easily save money and invest it for her retirement. Like $5 a day adds up to $1,800 a year. On average, the stock market gives a 10% return annually, meaning if Kim saved this money, by the age of 65, she would have about $1.2 million in her account, and if her company matches 50% of her contributions, then Kim could save up to $3,000 a year. If she consistently makes automatic contributions and it compounds at 10% annually, by the time she is 65, her account would have $1,742,467. Kim realized that her latte habit was costing her nearly $2 million. The concept of compounding is very powerful. Einstein once said, "Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world." If you can save even 10% of your annual salary and keep investing it for the next 4 or 5 years, there is no doubt that you will be a millionaire in the future. It's not impossible. Start with your daily $5. That's your Latte Factor. Whether it's coffee, cigarettes, candies, soft drinks, fast food, or pizza, whatever you spend money on, you can save it and invest it. So think about a small habit you have that involves daily expenses. That's your Latte Factor, and that's the habit you need to quit. Learn to pay yourself first. The Latte Factor gives you the idea that you can start building your wealth from today. You've earned enough to start saving and investing, and you know what it takes to become rich. The next misconception we'll discuss is budgeting. Many people think budgeting is effective, but have you ever met someone who is successful and happy because they made a budget? The reason budgeting doesn't work is simple. Budgeting is no joke. Budgeting means living a constrained life in the hopes of saving money for the future, and like dieting, it has its flaws. Often, people who live on a budget live a life of self-denial and eventually become so frustrated or break down that only a spree of shopping brings them any relief. That's why David teaches us another method, and that is pay yourself first. It's very basic, and simple. People often start paying everyone as soon as they get their salary. They pay rent, government taxes, credit card, and telephone bills, among others. They budget their money to make these payments. What little remains, they save. This approach is old and worn out. Often, after paying everyone else, we have nothing left for savings. In America, for every dollar one earned, 27 cents automatically goes into federal income, withholding taxes. Then, depending on the state, every American pays another 5 cents for state income tax. Then comes Social Security tax and Medicare. This way, 40 cents of every dollar you earn goes directly to the government. This means you keep only 70% of your salary. So, don't pay your taxes first. Pay yourself first. Paying yourself first means saving money for yourself before paying others. The money you save and invest today will serve you in the future. You can create a pre-tax retirement account such as a 401(k) and IRA or individual retirement account. Arrange it so that before any tax is deducted, your retirement money is saved in the account. Who do you work for? For yourself or your family? Or to pay the credit card company, the bank, and the telephone company? How much tax is deducted from your salary, how much you pay in bills, and how much you manage to save? You might realize that most of your time and energy go into spending. Most of what you earn does not get saved for your family, your retirement plan, or a better future, but goes into paying bills. So start paying yourself first from today. Open a pre-tax retirement account, save 10% of your income every month, and set your monthly or annual contributions to be automatic. Set it once and then forget it. It will continue to save automatically. Each month, 10% of your income will go into your retirement account. Suppose your annual income is $50,000, which is about $4,200 a month. This means you should be saving $140 per day. If you keep investing in the retirement account for 35 years with an annual return of 10%, do you know how much you would accumulate? Yes. You would have $1,678,293.78, more than $1 million. Now, make it automatic. You don't need to make a separate budget. You don't even need to follow discipline. Make your savings automatic so that it goes directly into your investment account. You just have to set it up once, and then every month, money will continue to be deposited into your retirement account or index fund. Jim and Sue McIntyre did this for 30 years. They created a pay-yourself-first system that automatically invested 15% of their income. Initially, they started saving 4%, but gradually increased it to 5%, then 7%, 10%, and eventually 15%. They didn't have to write any checks monthly and didn't need time, discipline, or budgeting because their automatic system was doing the work and their money was being invested correctly. David himself started saving with a small amount. At 25, he began by saving 1% of his salary, and after 3 months, he increased it to 3%. After meeting McIntyre, David realized and said to himself, "Enough is enough. I will start saving from my youth so that I can be rich by old age." Then he increased his savings investment to 10%, then to 15%, and later to 20%. Now David had become a super saver. He was managing everything. He felt that by adopting a simple lifestyle, he could save even more money for his retirement. He was surprised at how he could manage with less money. But David says that once you get used to it, it's no problem. You can control your unnecessary expenses. The key idea of making savings automatic is that you can't spend what you don't have. If the money isn't in your wallet, you won't spend it. Since you've paid yourself first and invested for your future, your money won't be wasted on frivolous things. If you dream of a stress-free retirement, don't depend on your company, the government, or your family, because the responsibility is yours alone. Only you can secure your future. So now, let's learn how to fund your personal retirement account and make it automatic. If you have a retirement account, start using it. In America, the most common retirement account is called a 401k. This is an account where your company contributes some money every month and your investment yields a 10% annual return. When you make this account automatic, your money will compound year after year, and by retirement, you will be a millionaire. Most employees think that the company will automatically enroll them in a retirement plan after hiring, but never rely on this. Take responsibility yourself. Go to your office's Human Resources Department and find out about the retirement plan. Arrange so that your share goes into your account before any tax money is taken, and also set a fixed percent that is deducted from your income. If your company does not offer a retirement plan or a 401k, you can create an individual retirement account or IRA. You can apply at any bank, go to a brokerage firm, or even submit a form online. There are 3 ways to make investments automatic in your individual retirement account. The first is via payroll deduction. Your company will deduct a percentage of your salary and deposit it into your IRA. The second method is deduction from your checking account. Your company will deposit the money into your checking account, and then your bank or broker can transfer it to your retirement account. The third method is online banking, where you can set up monthly contributions like a monthly bill payment. Your bank will then transfer this money to your retirement account. The more percent of your income that goes into your retirement account, the better. Challenge yourself and try to cut back on as many things as possible. If you can save 10%, 12%, or even 15%, think about how happy your retirement will be. Compound interest is a wonderful thing. Always remember that. So start saving now, because the sooner you start, the more the interest will grow. Don't be like those people who say, "I can't save 5% of my income," or "My company doesn't contribute enough, so what's the point of my saving?" Or "Investing in the stock market is foolish," or "I will start saving next month." If you have similar excuses, believe me, you will never become an automatic millionaire. Instead, tell yourself, no matter what, I will pay myself first. I will save 10% of my income, and then I will keep increasing this amount as much as possible. The best time to start saving for tomorrow is to start today, right now. Conclusion. In this summary, you have learned about the story of the automatic millionaires, Jim and Sue McIntyre. To become an automatic millionaire like them, you need to understand 3 clear steps. First, identify your Latte Factor. What small habit or minor expense is part of your daily routine? Quit this habit today and start depositing the money you usually spend into your retirement account. Second, pay yourself first before others. Start diverting a portion of your income into your investment account. Save some money for your future before paying government taxes, credit card bills, or telephone company bills. Third, make your savings automatic. Set up an arrangement just once so that the next time you receive your salary, a portion of it automatically goes into your retirement account. If you set this up, you won't need to make a separate budget or discipline yourself later. because if there is no money in your wallet, you won't spend it. Now that you understand what it takes to become an automatic millionaire, let the compound interest do its work. Start saving $5 daily, pay yourself first, and put your savings on an automatic system. That's all you need to do, because afterwards, you can sit back and enjoy a stress-free and happy retirement life. Thank you for joining us for our summary of The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. We hope the strategies shared today empower you to kickstart your journey toward financial freedom. Remember, with the right habits and systems, anyone can become an automatic millionaire. It starts with taking that first step. If you found this summary enlightening, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more life-changing financial insights, and don't hesitate to share this video with friends and family who might benefit. Got questions or want to share how these tips are working for you? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear about your progress. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to move closer to your financial goals. Start today, stay consistent, and watch your efforts compound into lasting wealth. Until our next summary, keep investing in yourself and your future.